Okay, then it's...
Can you hear us, Janki ji?
I can hear you now. Go ahead. Why did you
Auntie
say-
ji? Yeah. So clear now, no? So it's all got to do with how it relates to the waking state and not an independent study of the dream state.
Very good. Excellent, Bharat. That's why I was asking you, were you asking a question or giving an answer? Your question is actually the answer. But when they study dream, they see it as an adjunct to the waking world. Like, what can I learn of the waking world from what I have seen on the dream? So that's what is studied large. We're talking of that kind of study. Very good, Bharat. The whole point of our study is very different. We are not trying to interpret dreams and their relationship with our waking world. What we are trying to do is see the fact that while I was in that dream world, I believed that to be the absolute truth. That's what we're talking about, not its effect on the waking world. And it's a very important thing to draw this distinction into what we're doing. So in terms of that research, that has not been done in psychology. So that's why I said the philosophy of the West is drawn primarily from the waking state. It takes little notice of the experience of the dream state and practically ignores the deep sleep state. Means it does not take it as the full data. It takes it only as an adjunct. Like, okay, so this is what you learn from your dreams. That is what Madeleine says, this interpretation of dreams. Now, this is what you learn. You see a snake, then this, you see this, then this, whatever. It's been a long time since I have read that, but whatever my memory holds in this thing. So, and of course, other thinkers, Jung and all, they took it further. They did some more work on it. Freud's interpretations were not fully accepted, and there was endless debates. From dream theories came about another field also, which was the field of mythology interpretation. Like how world mythology, what is it telling us? That is Joseph Campbell. He's the mastermind behind it. So many things were done, but they were all done as an explanation of a waking world, not seeing that world as a world in itself, which is what Vedanta is trying to make us understand, that when we are there, whatever you're seeing in that, that's a world unto itself. If you went to meet the queen in the dream, you don't tell the queen, I know you're a dream. You behave, you talk with all the emotions, everything, as if you really are there. And you believe it completely. If somebody in your dream were to tell you it's a dream, you'll laugh at them. Because you believe it. And you believe it completely, as long as you're there. That's what he's drawing our attention to. Okay, so far so good. All right, so who will read the next? Oh, wait, I have some questions. Let me just check. Mukesh, good morning. Where does the subconscious mind fit or play any part in the dream, in deep sleep? Is there a subconscious mind, or what is it? Subconscious is deep sleep, it is dream state. Conscious, waking world, subconscious, dream world, unconscious, vasanas. Supraconscious, turiya, or the fourth state. There's nothing else. It's unconscious vasanas, subconscious deep dream, conscious waking, supraconscious turiya. Okay.
Thank you.
Right. So, who will read the next paragraph?
May I, Janki?
Please.
The consciousness in its absolute state is homogeneous, one and one alone. That is unknown to you. It assumes three known forms, the waking, dream, and deep sleep states. It functions through the gross, subtle, and causal bodies to forge the waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper. They are distinct and different from one another. The consciousness of the waking state thus becomes the waker. The waker pronounces the waking world to be substantial, real, set in order by its laws and regulations. The waker disregards the other two states, negates the dreamer and the dream world as insubstantial, a mere illusion. An athlete of the waking state may dream as an invalid, a cripple. He dismisses his dream experience as insignificant, meaningless. His verdict of the waking state is clear, empathetic to him. The consciousness in its absolute state is homogeneous, which is unknown to us. So we only function through the three states. Through gross body, we work as waker. Through subtle body, we work as dreamer. And through causal body, we work as deep sleeper. They are different from each other. The waker disregards the other two states. A waker may be empathetic towards the sorry state of a dreamer and negates the dreamer and the dream world as a mere illusion.
Not empathetic, Shilpa. Emphatic. Okay, so as he's not empathetic at all, he is very emphatic that was nothing in the dream. This is the state. And the dreamer is just as emphatic that this is the state. And if you can get that, that's how you become philosophical. Because you yourself, in the course of 24 hours, have asserted with full belief and confidence three entirely different things. You were confident, right, that there is nothing in deep sleep. You were just as confident that you were meeting the queen in in your dream state, and you're just as confident that you are attending a Vedanta class now. If your surety is any proof of the reality of something, then please know that 3 times a day, every day of your life, you have been sure of 3 completely different and opposing things. Every single day, you have asserted, I am Madeline, I am Mary, I am nothing. If you begin to understand this, you will ask the question, so am I nothing? Am I Mary or am I Madeline? Who am I? Because I have been sure 3 times a day of 3 entirely different things. And nobody could come to me in any one of those 3 and say, are you sure? I ask you now, Shilpa, are you sure you are Shilpa? You say, what? Of course I'm Shilpa. You ask Manoj, Manoj, are you sure you're Manoj? You say, what? Of course I'm Manoj. What is the debate? What is the question? And yet when Shilpa and Manoj go to sleep, Shilpa can say, I'm Sheetal. Manoj can say, I'm Madhav. And completely believe it. And you understand why states of consciousness are seems like such a innocuous thing, right? It's no big deal. And yet, if you get what he's talking about, it can pull the carpet from under your feet. But what, like, it's too much. It's too much to even try to conceive. You feel like, okay, you're so unsure of so many things in this world. You don't know whether to invest in X or invest in Y, to marry X or marry Y, to live in India or live in Greece. You don't know so many things. But one thing you know for certain, my name is Madeline and I exist. This much everybody knows for certain, right? Whatever other debates you have about anything else. And he says, guess what? Even that is not sure. Not sure because not because somebody else says it, but because you yourself say it. And you have been saying it 3 times a day, every day, from the day of your birth to the day of your death, you will do this. And yet you say with such surety, I am so and so. Difficult, right? Okay, so let's proceed reading. We'll read the next 2 paragraphs. Who will read?
I will jump in.
Go ahead. Read the next 2, okay?
Likewise, the consciousness of the dream state, the dreamer swears by the dream world. The dreamer is equally emphatic, assertive that the dream world is substantial, real, set in its own laws. A dreamer may be an Olympic runner in the dream, though in the waking state he could be bedridden with a terminal disease. The dreamer also dismisses the waking state as insignificant, meaningless. His verdict of the dream state is clear, emphatic to him. Again, the consciousness of the sleeping state. The deep sleeper experiences nothingness and is blissfully ignorant of the waking and dream states. All that is gained or lost in these 2 states is of no significance, no value to the deep sleeper. He is steeped in ignorance. Shall I summarize?
Yes, please.
So like it's saying like what we are in, what one is in one state, like he is not knowing about the other state at all. So he's ignorant of when he is in one state, he's ignorant of other states. And he thinks that he is that state, and this keeps changing.
Yes.
This ignorance remains.
You can't say he doesn't know. As a waker, you know that you went through the dream. So it's not that he doesn't know. It's that he gives it no value. He doesn't care about it. He doesn't even think there is any reality. Okay, as a waker now, we all think that dream is a dream. But when we were the dreamer, at that point, we didn't say it's a dream. At that point, we believed it. If in my dream a tiger is chasing me, I'm going to be as terrified as if a tiger was chasing me now. Even the dream I dreamt that I am meeting Shah Rukh Khan, or Brad Pitt, or Justin Bieber, and I'll be as delighted there as I would be if I were to meet them here. To me, it's a real experience. It's not a dream the way I call it now. It's the actual thing. In the dream, if I fly, I don't say, how is it possible to fly? We humans can't fly. I take it as a given that we fly. Every aspect of our life in the dream is as real to us as it is now. This is what hopefully hits us when we read this. Jyoti. Sometimes you dream that you are the same person as you are in the waking state. Then that reinforces your belief that you are the individual of the waking state. Not really, Jyoti. Even if you dreamt that you are of a different whatever, it will not that will not reduce your belief of the waking state. Your belief that you were Jyoti in the dream state neither increases nor decreases your belief of your being Jyoti in the waking state. And even if you call yourself the same name, the fact is that you're going through a different experience. Jyoti the waker is asleep in bed. Jyoti the dreamer is a different person. Why? Because that person is doing something. Whatever it is doing, that Jyoti is doing, meeting the queen, going to Pushpalatha, whatever it is Jyoti is doing, it is different from what is happening with Jyoti the waker who's fast asleep in bed. So there is nothing that happens in the dream state which will either increase or decrease your belief of the waking world. Even if you dream exactly the same thing, it doesn't increase your belief that this is right. Even if you dream a completely different thing, it will not decrease the belief that this is right for the waker. Okay. All right. Anything else? You can take this slowly because this really requires a lot of thought to even grasp the basic idea.
So, Janki ji, can we say that in all the three states, all we experience is vasanas?
I don't know how to answer that because vasana means unexpressed.
Okay.
You can say the root is vasana, that you could say.
Okay, but do we ever experience pure consciousness in? No. So vasanas blanket pure consciousness.
That's right.
Okay.
You cannot experience pure consciousness. Just think of what that question means. You don't have to believe somebody who says, no, you can't, because other people say, yes, you can. I experience pure consciousness. So therefore you understand what is pure consciousness. Pure anything means only that, right?
Yeah.
Pure gold means only gold. So if you're experiencing pure consciousness, you are there, consciousness is there, they're already two things.
Okay.
You forget experiencing it, you can't even understand this thing. All the consciousness that I have now, what I know, is always consciousness of something, awareness of something. What is consciousness that has no off? Like now I am conscious of sound, let us say. I'm conscious of some sight. I am conscious of history, of geography. I can say all this. But what is I am conscious? There is no I am conscious without conscious of. So pure consciousness means there is no off. So there is no way that anybody can experience pure consciousness by definition. There is no off. I am conscious of conscious. Doesn't make sense.
Right. Yes. Thank you.
Another way of putting the same thing is to say that the consciousness is the subject, not the object of experience. It is the very subject in us. All of it is incomprehensible. I gave you 3 methods because they are all incomprehensible. So it doesn't matter whichever one we can sort of get a glimpse of. Madeline. But as we always come back to the waker state, so we are compelled to believe that the waker state is the reality. Good question, Madeline. We always come back to the waker state. We always come back to the waker state is said by whom? This is the claim of the waker, isn't it? Suppose I dreamt like this, okay? I'm sleeping. And I dream today is my birthday. And all my friends have come and we cut a cake. And we have this great party. After the party, everybody goes home. Some cake is left. I put that cake in the fridge and I go to sleep. All of this is happening in the dream. I wake up the next morning and I say, oh, my yesterday's cake is there. I'm going to eat it now. Does that prove that the dream is real? The continuity we claim is a claim of the waker. The other way of looking at it, which is the more logical way, this is a more comparison way. But there's also an inference way of looking at it, which is whenever we make any comparisons, we have to maintain ceteris paribus. So you have to take one unit of the dream and one unit of the waking world. One unit of the dream is where it begins and ends. One unit of the waking world is birth and death, because that is your waking story, right? That whole thing is your waking story. So in that sense also, you find that just as different as dreams are from one another, one unit of birth to death can be entirely different from another. So none of these prove that any one of these states is real. It's a very interesting, we'll do it later, it's coming in, where we will discuss all the reasons why we believe waking world is real. It's so simple also, just tap on this. Can you hear me? Tapping on this wood. It's nice antique wood. I can tap on it. And if it's a solid wood table, and if I tap on it, my knuckles hurt because it's a solid thing. Now, I can say, I can hear the sound. I can feel the pain in my knuckles. Therefore, this world is real. But can't I do exactly the same in the dream? If I knock on a table there, a solid wood table over there, will the sound not come? Will my knuckles not hurt? That doesn't prove this is real. So when we get to that, we will study how many arguments there can be to claim that this world is real, and how those arguments, and we'll test whether those arguments stand up to the test of reason or not. This is just an introduction. We have not even entered Vedanta so far. This is all, we are still in introduction only. Okay, so we don't always come back. When we leave the unit, we don't know what our next unit will be.
Can I just say something, Janki?
1 second, Kinnari, unless it's on this point.
This point. This point.
Go ahead.
Like she said, we come back to the waking state. Dreams also, Janki ji, we dream of different things every day maybe.
Hmm.
So then we dismiss it as not being real, because in the waking state you are continuing. I'm continuing as Kinnari. I am, from what I did yesterday, from where I left, I'm continuing today, tomorrow maybe. But in the dream, there are all sorts of different dreams. There is no continuation. So then can't we dismiss it as a
Kinnari, we
Just-
just discussed that 2 points were given. What were the 2 points? You know what happens? We fall in love with the question so much, and then we can't hear the answer. Forget, you don't know what the answer was. What was the answer? I mean, you may agree or disagree with the answer. That's a different thing. Okay, but we can't hear the answer. On a separate note, please see how desires interrupt achievement, just as a way to learn that. Desires are a killer in life. Now you long to know something, you will not know that thing. So, Kinnari,
yes.
do you know what the answer was?
To Madeline's question, right?
Mm-hmm. You answered the same question, right?
Yeah,
It is
yeah,
continuity
yeah. So-
because of return.
Yeah. So you said you take it as one separate entity. Each state take it as
Not each state. In any comparison, you have to maintain ceteris paribus. Means all other things being equal. So when we are comparing dream to waking, we take 1 unit of dream and 1 unit of waking. 1 unit of dream is the beginning and end of the dream. So therefore, 1 unit of waking should be beginning and end, right?
okay.
What is beginning in here is
Got-
birth, and what
got
is end is death.
Got it. Okay.
There was also another way of seeing the same thing through the method of comparison, which is that if in my dream I dreamt that I'm eating yesterday's cake, that doesn't prove that either the cake or yesterday existed in that dream. It means the reality of the dream. It doesn't prove it. Though I am seeing continuity. You know, in the dream also, it's not that we don't see continuity. In the dream, suppose you're dreaming. Suppose Shilpa dreams. I am 40 years old. And at 40 years old, I am starting my business. Just a dream is going on. Now, when she claims in the dream that I'm 40 years old, she doesn't say, I got into this dream at 40. She can tell you her history for 40 years. As far as the dreamer is concerned, there is a history, there is a continuity. Just as it is for the waker. Anyway, we are going well beyond ourselves at the moment. At the moment, all he's saying is that in each state, you believe that is the truth. We are going to be studying this more deep analysis a little later. What's the reason behind saying that pure consciousness is homogeneous? Please explain. Deepraj, why did you go to homogeneous? Something that is, okay, I'll answer it, but it's not really in the context, right? Homogeneous, anything that is one and only one exists, then it has to be homogeneous. What difference can it be? If you accept the other definitions, then you have no way to not make it homogeneous. If you accept that it is one, if you accept that it is changeless, if you accept all this, then it has to be homogeneous.
I was more concerned, because in this paragraph it is written the consciousness in its absolute state is homogeneous, one in one alone. So why was this point brought up in this context? I thought it related to the other state somehow. So, yeah.
Which paragraph are you referring to? Oh,
Yes.
the consciousness in its absolute state, that one, right? Like
Yes.
3 paragraphs ago. Okay.
Yes.
Consciousness in its absolute state is homogeneous, one and one alone. So it is not three as we have divided it out. When we divide the consciousness, then it becomes relative consciousness or consciousness of something. If you don't divide it out, then it's one.
Got it. Thank you.
Okay, then satsang host, Omkar, I suppose my effort in the dream state cannot lead me to self-realization, but my efforts in the waking state can. So how can my waking state not become more real than my dream state? Omkar, you always ask the same question in this discussion. Do you remember the answer from last time?
No, that's why I asked it again. But I remember I have asked this question again.
Okay, at least you remember your question. I guess I should be grateful for that much at least. Right, please write it down this time. So next time when you remember you had the question, you'll also have something to go back to and see what was the answer. My effort in the dream state cannot lead me to self-realization. The correct way of putting that is, I am not capable of effort in the dream state. There is no effort that ever happens in the dream state. However, whatever is happening in dream state is taking you to self-realization. Did you write that down?
No.
No, write it down. No effort is possible in the dream state. You won't put in any effort. The dream state is a, how should I put it? It's an effortless state. Effort is only possible in a very small window. And that window is of a human being in the waking state of consciousness. In no other state of existence is effort possible. In no other known state of existence. I don't know if there are aliens and whatever there is on other planets. I don't know. I haven't come across anything in the scriptures about it so far. Maybe eventually when maybe will. I don't know all this. But what they have claimed is the following. That the only area, the only place where anyone gets a chance at effort is a human being in the waking state of consciousness. And that is why the human birth is considered so great. Now, in every other state, whether it is heaven or hell, there's a story, in the scripture, there's some, I've forgotten, I don't remember all the details of it, but one person from Devaloka came and asked a saint to accompany him. Sometimes the Devas send the Vahan, they send a vehicle to take people up to heaven. So a vehicle was sent and Devdut came with that, a vehicle, and said, you have been invited to heaven, so come there. So the story goes that the saint, I've been invited to heaven. But then he is a Vedantin, so he doesn't do anything without thinking. So he asked the Devdut, what reason is there for me to go to heaven? What are the reasons because of which I should go? So Devdut said, you get the best of everything over there. Your experience there will be superb. Imagine you're going to heaven. You will have all the apsaras and all the music and all the dance and all the whatever. If you eat ice cream there, it will be 1,000,000 times better than what you have on earth. These are all the reasons. You go there and really be a very happy person. Okay, great. Then the sage said, okay, that sounds fine. Okay, can you tell me all the reasons I shouldn't go to heaven? And he says, yeah, to tell you the truth, there are some reasons we shouldn't go to heaven. First reason is that if you are, if you are, what you'll get in heaven is proportional to the good you have done. So even in heaven, there will be grades and you will see other people who got better than you. So that is one bad thing. Another bad thing is whenever your punya, your good deeds are over, you will be at that second thrown out of heaven. So you will have to leave. I mean, there's no argument. There's no, you can't go into court of appeal or anything. The moment it is over, you leave. And third thing, no effort towards self-realization is possible in heaven. So then the sage said, thank you very much. In which case I will stay here because I'd rather reach self-realization than go to your heaven, which is not even guaranteed, not even continue. I will take self-realization. This is a story to tell us an important thing, which is no effort is possible at any time. Imagine, just think how stupid we could have been if we chose to go to heaven rather than stay here in the waking state of consciousness where we have a possibility of reaching self-realization. So the only effort that can be done is in the waking state. That's why you've often heard, right? Manushya Yoni. What's so great about Manushya Yoni? Manushya Yoni means the body of a human. It's supposed to be the greatest gift to have this because you can put an effort. Now, just as you have this great ability to put an effort in the Manushya Yoni, in the human form, there is one bad thing about it. Effort means you can go towards, effort means you can go away. You get a choice, right? So animals score over us. Those in heaven score over us. And a whole host of creatures score over us. In that, whatever they do takes them to realization. Because every act reduces their desires. So in that way, they score. So, Omkar, I hope you're still following the line of thought and you haven't got involved in anywhere along the way. There is no effort possible in the dream state. However, everything that happens in the dream state helps to reduce our desires. So why should you say that waking state is more important than the dream state? In dream, automatically desires are reducing. In the animal incarnation, automatically desires are reducing. So why is that so bad? So in any case, whatever the speed, one way or the other, this is common to both. Effort is not common to both, but reduction of desires is common to both. Okay, Omkar.
No, I don't follow this.
You don't what?
I don't understand this.
Which
You're
part?
saying if effort is possible only in the waking state.
Correct.
So that's point number one. So in the dream state, there is no effort possible.
Correct.
So if that be the case, why are we putting the dream state and the waking state in the same on the same platter, so as to say, is my problem.
What do you mean?
Because effort,
who's putting it on the same platter? We're not putting it on the same platter. They're three different and distinct experiences.
so in a way we are saying everything is unreal.
Correct.
So the waking state is also unreal and the dream state is also unreal.
Correct.
Maybe yes,
We're
from the
not saying that. Sorry. Just stop there. That's not what is being said.
Okay.
Please follow very carefully. We're not saying what is unreal. What we are saying is that in three separate states, you have three different claims of reality.
But the reality of the waking state is not more real than the reality of the dream state.
There is no such thing. What is more real and less real? Either something is real or not. When you are in the waking state, you believe that this is real. So that's why you're arguing with me. You're saying, no, this is real, which is correct. As a waker, you will do that. What Vedanta is saying is, remember last night's dream. Should we have been having this conversation in that dream, you would have claimed that is real. It's only drawing our attention to the fact that every single day, 3 times a day, you have 3 different realities. According to you, not according to anyone else. Nobody's pushing this down your throat. You yourself are claiming this. Nobody's telling you what is real or false. It is just saying that you are saying Omkar is real. Omkar is married to Sheetal. He has a son, Manet. He lives at his home. His mama lives with him. There is Omkar in his world. But when Omkar goes to sleep, he dreams that he's a bachelor. He has no family, no nothing. He lives by himself. All his friends are coming over and they are all partying every night. Now, when I'm speaking to partying Omkar, he doesn't believe in Sheetal. When I'm speaking to Sheetal's Omkar, he doesn't believe in the partying. That's all it's saying. It is not telling you what is real or unreal. It's just saying you are saying so.
Yeah, but to me, what I'm understanding is, and of course this may come later, that from the 4th stage, Turiya, from that perspective, all these 3 states are unreal. So in a way...
Yeah, don't jump the gun.
Okay.
So far, all you know, all he's drawing your attention to is a fact which you already know. That in every state, you believe in the reality of that state. This is correct or false?
Yes, this is correct.
This is correct. That's all he's saying. He's not making any other statement. He's only made so much of a statement. When he makes some other statement, then you debate it. Now he's saying in every state, you believe that state to be real, which is true.
And so what's the point he's making? I didn't get that. So what's the point he's making?
That you are claiming 3 different realities.
And why doesn't he say, however, the reality of the waking state is the reality? He stops from saying that, right?
No, he is not saying anything. He's only telling you what you're saying. So you can say, I'm saying it or I'm not saying it. Do you at this moment believe that we are having this conversation?
Yes.
Right. If you were sleeping and you dreamt that you were partying with your friends, at that point, did you believe that you were really partying with your friends? What happened? Yes or no?
Yes.
Right. When you were in deep sleep and you believe there's nothing, did you believe there's nothing?
Yes.
And you do this 3 times a day, every day.
Yes, yes.
That's all he said. He's not saying anything more. He's not saying which is true, which is false. He's just telling you this is so, which is true. What's the debate there? How do I go up to the... All right. Only waking state, Varsha, only waking state is useful because only in that state we can make efforts towards self-realization. Why, Varsha? Even if you can't make in the problem with effort, as we have just discussed, okay, let somebody else tell. What is the problem with effort? What we just said.
You can go back.
It can be both ways. It can be towards or away.
True. So there's a problem straight away with effort. So why is only waking state useful? If you had been a tiger, it's cool, right? You will live the life of a tiger. you will exhaust all your tiger vasanas and you move forward. If you live the life of Varsha, then Varsha has a choice to go forward very fast, go backwards very fast, and stay where she is also. So why is only waking state useful?
Because there's no effort. I mean, there's nothing happening in the dream state, right? We're not capable of making efforts to.
Hello. You're not making effort, but don't say there's nothing happening. Something is happening. What is happening?
Exhaustion of some vasanas.
Yeah.
So actually that is moving forward, no?
Yes.
There's no moving backward there.
Correct.
So that's good.
That's good.
So
Maybe
that's
we
like
should have
Paulus.
more dream state then. That way at least,
Yeah. Yeah, it'll take you a long time to reach realization through that manner. But yes, that is a possibility. You can try it. Tell us when you get there.
No, so really there can be no moving away in dream state. Oh, okay.
Suddenly, Varsha's found good reason to go back to sleep.
No dream actually, no.
Okay,
Right, yeah,
that is
thank you.
true not only of the dream, it's true of these heaven-like states, it's true of animal states, it's true of everything other than the human waking state and any other state that may be there.
Okay, thank you.
So it's not, waking is not the only useful one. It is useful because you try sleeping your way to realization. I don't know how many eons it may take. But if the waking state, you can do it now, straight away, in this lifetime.
So it's an active effort. So it's more intense than, yeah, of course. Yeah.
There is no effort anywhere else. Their nature is taken care of.
Correct. Thank you.
Millen, students studying very much in dream cannot pass exam in waking state. Correct. However much he believes the reality of that study which he did in the dream state, it won't work. Everybody is very happy to go to sleep, I can see in this class. All right, so how are we doing? All clear? Then we will pursue this line of thought next time.
Hari Om Janki ji.
Hari Om. Thank you very
Hari
much.
Om.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
Janki ji.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Janki ji. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you, Janki ji.
Hari Om Janki.
Thank you, Janki ji. Hari Om.
Hari Om Janki ji. Thank you.
Om Janki ji. Hari Om.